Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Grand Rising, everybody. Pretty rich is what they called. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just wanted to go over some things from Pretty Richie Fantasy Football World. Some of the results that took place yesterday for week 13. Okay, I caught a lot of predictions that came to fruition. I just want to highlight those real quick. Excuse my attire. I just got finished working out. I gotta get ready to go to work. So I just wanted to spit this at you real quick. My start of the week for week 13 was Derek Carr. He got 250 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception against the Chargers. So I'm not going to say that that was a boom play, but he definitely was a quality quarterback too for week 13. Told you guys to start Josh Jacobs. He had 26 carries, 144 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Foster Moreau, I got wrong. I told y'all to start Foster Moreau. He didn't do good. He only had 1 catch for 32 yards against the Chargers. Like I said, I'm not right about everything that I predict, but most of the stuff I get right, I'm batting at least well over 500%, well over 50-50. I would say I'm anywhere between 75%, on some weeks even 80%. I get correct with my predictions, with stats and everything else. Another thing I told you guys to start the Browns defense. They got over 30 fantasy football points for whatever scoring format you guys use. But I told you guys that a big time sleeper defense was the Browns defense against the Texans, and they boom over 30 points. That will win you. That won you the week. That won you the week right there. And defenses are hard to champion each and every single week. Let me see here. I told you about Evan Ingram. I said Evan Ingram was my tight end start of the week for the Jacksonville Jaguars. To see what he did. Evan Ingram, 5 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown. That was my tight end start of the week. So that was decent. He's going to be a top 6 or top 7 tight end for week 13. So I would say it's not a boom, but it's good. It's good. If he would have had another 30 yards and receiving and maybe another touchdown, that would have been more of a boom game. But he's good enough to have been in your starting lineup, especially in a tight end premium scoring league. Who else? I told you guys to be careful with Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback for the Jaguars. He only had 179 passing yards and 1 touchdown. He didn't have any interceptions, which is good. And he also had 32 yards on the ground. That's decent. And I told you guys to be mindful of Jameson Williams for the Detroit Lions. Told y'all don't. It's fool's gold. Jared Goff is not talented enough to be able to support 2 wide receiver ones within that offense. I just don't think he possesses the talent like a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Aaron Rodgers, where he can support multiple wide receiver 1 alpha males within that system, within that offense. Who else I got? Zonovan Knight, I got right. Let's see what he did for week 13. He had 15 carries. He had 90 yards rushing. That's 6 yards a carry he got. I don't think he had 5 catches for 28 yards. No touchdowns. So in the PPR scoring format, that is a boom in your flex, because I told you, I said start him in your flex play. I said start him in your flex play, and he's going to surprise and do good for you. Who I missed on Elijah Moore in that game. I said I was big on Elijah Moore, and I was big on Tyler Conklin. They didn't hit. Tyler Conklin only had 2 catches for 9 yards. Elijah Moore had 2 catches for 7 yards, and Elijah Moore had 1 rush for 10 yards. So that's a flop. So I missed that on that. I wasn't banging the door down on those 2 guys, but I definitely put them in as a flex play or a start. That was my vice. I got that wrong. I missed on that. I believe who else was my? Oh, yes, my wide receiver of the week for week 13 was A.J. Brown from The Philadelphia Eagles against the Titans, a grudge match. They traded him. For week 13, A.J. Brown, boom, just like I told you he would. He got 8 receptions, 119 receiving yards, and 2 tutties, 2 touchdowns, 2 tutties. Yes, sir. I told you I called that, baby. Now, most fantasy football enthusiasts and fantasy football people, they said to go ahead and start him. You that's easy. You start A.J. Brown all the time, but to put him in there and make sure that and call it that he's going to be a boom, not many enthusiasts did that. No, trust me. I pay attention to this industry. And Devontae Smith had a good game. He had 5 catches, 102 yards receiving, and a touchdown himself, which is very good. So in one league, I did bench him for Zion McKnight. I like to have a running back flex play in my flex play at all times, if I can. And plus, especially with Devontae Smith, he been hit or miss. Sometimes he can get you a duddy. He can get you 5 fantasy points, or he can get you anywhere from 15 to 20. That's why I like to have the running backs in my flex plays, because they're guaranteed manufactured touches within that offense. Yes, sir. So I hit pretty much on my quarterback of the week, Derek Carr. Like I said, 250 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. That's decent. That's a solid quarterback 2 number right there. It's safe. That's a very safe floor. He didn't boom like I wanted, but I hit on A.J. Dillon was my running back of the week for week 13. Let's see how A.J. Dillon did. I don't want to leave my man out, especially with me being a Packers fan. Okay, let's see. A.J. Dillon had 18 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 5.2 carries. He averaged 5.2 yards a carry, and he also had 3 catches for 26 yards. That's every bit of 21 fantasy points. So he was a boom for me, because he's been very inconsistent this year. And a lot of people are very upset with the production that he's given so far, especially with I think Aaron Jones got dinged up in that game against the Bears, which allowed A.J. Dillon to have more opportunities. So you got to keep that in perspective as well. Would he have gotten what A.J. Dillon has succeeded to the level that he did if Aaron Jones would have stayed on the field as healthy? I don't know. Cole Clement, boom. He got 6 receptions for 72 yards. That's boss. That's tight end 1 numbers, especially in the tight end scoring format. That's boss right there. That's all I wanted to talk about this morning, guys. Before I go to work after a nice good workout. Like I said, I don't hit on everything. I don't get everything right, but I do like to highlight the things that I do get right, and I also will address the things that I missed on. So I did miss on a couple of things, but as you can see, just from my starts of the week for week 13 alone, would have won you something, won you some type of game or whatever. I don't know if people play DFS or FanDuel or whatever. I have nothing to do with that. But as far as from a fantasy point of view, it's a figure of speech. I got you some money. I got you some money for week 13, easy. If you took my advice. If you didn't take my advice, I got nothing to do with that. But hopefully moving forward, my viewers and my subscribers will pay more attention to me and take my advice more often than not, and be able to be successful on the fantasy football landscape. Again, this is my lives are built just like me, like the Lord built me, short and sweet. I keep my stuff short and sweet. I appreciate everybody's time. I'm a very busy man myself. Got to go to work right now, but I just want to give you guys the sauce that you know some of my predictions that came true with week 13. So with that being said, I'm easy to find. You can find me. I have a Discord channel, PrettyRichie. I have a Twitter page, PrettyRichie, a Fantasy Football World. I have a Patreon channel, PrettyRichie. You can PrettyRichie 11. I'm very easy to find. You can join, subscribe, like, share. I appreciate you. Like I said, this my channel is at the ground level. So as soon as I get enough subscribers, I'll be able to interact with you guys more. But if you join my Patreon page, my Discord channel, you'll be able to get complete access to me and ask me any type of questions that you would like. And I got you. I'm going to give you the sauce. I've been doing this for over 20 years. Well, with the podcast I just started. But fantasy football, I've been doing over 20 years now. So With that being said, you guys have a great day. Love you guys. Ball game. Yes, sir. Ball game.